Hello and welcome to Beautifully Balanced. Health and happiness aren't found in a bottle of prescription pills or with any fad diet. Instead, we can activate your body's natural ability to heal itself. And that is exactly what we're going to do together here. I'm Sarah Teeple, a women's integrative health practitioner, and I blend the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda with the modern science of functional medicine to help you heal your gut, rebalance your hormones, and calm anxiety naturally. Here I'll teach you the smart, sustainable, personalized, and fun way to use nutrition, herbs, and healthy lifestyle to feel vibrant, energized, and beautiful inside and out. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello and welcome. Today is all about food cravings and what they are trying to tell you. This is one of the most interesting and important topics ever. This is how to break free from stress eating by actually understanding and addressing the sneaky underlying causes of it. I'll teach you about the unprocessed emotions behind your cravings, what each different type of craving means, and I'll guide you through a quick, simple, but powerful 4-step process to decode and address what's underneath the food craving. This is a process that you can learn and that you can do over and over when these powerful cravings come up for you. It will help you be more physically healthy, metabolically healthy, and mentally and emotionally and hormonally healthy. This will help you break free from body image issues, the shame that can sometimes come with binging or over snacking. And most importantly, it can help you have a deep, trusting, loving relationship with your body and yourself. And when you have that type of relationship, it helps you live a better, fuller life. And that's what we are here to do. This is going to make a huge difference in your body and your life if you struggle with hormonal issues, if you're carrying extra weight, if you're feeling pain or inflammation in your body, if you have low energy or major mood swings. Mastering this will change your life. I teach my one-on-one clients in my Beautifully Balanced program and my group program, the Radiant Reset, about how to reach their health goals by balancing their blood sugar. It's the number one way to regulate your hormones, your moods, your energy, and your weight. I teach about not just your sex hormones, your estrogen and progesterone, but your appetite and satiety hormones, your leptin, ghrelin, and insulin. These are what we call upstream hormones. Getting those into balance and regulating them creates a downstream effect and naturally helps balance your estrogen and progesterone. When we go to our doctors, especially when we're in that perimenopausal time of life, like I am, we go to our doctors talking about hormonal issues. They usually want to jump right to estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, those sex hormones. But we need to balance the upstream hormones first, those appetite and satiety hormones. And balancing our blood sugar is the number one way to do that and to reduce inflammation in our bodies. But it's pretty much impossible to balance your blood sugar if your life is ruled by your cravings. And so many of us are walking around every day surviving on sugar and caffeine and munchy, crunchy carbs and processed foods. We're just moving from one craving to the next, and it's sabotaging our hormones and our health goals. It's impossible for us to reach a healthy weight or balance our hormones when those upstream hormones are imbalanced and when we're carrying around so much inflammation in our body. And the bottom line, too, is it just leaves us feeling stressed, unstable, and overall terrible in our bodies, and then creates issues in the rest of our life. It creates results that we don't want in our day-to-day life. Things like negative self-talk, getting hangry and irritable and bickering with our partner, or being impatient and snippy with our kids. And it can make our self-esteem plummet. When your clothes don't fit, it really hurts your confidence. And when we keep doing and eating things that we know aren't good for us, when we're stuck, we're addicted, it compromises our relationship with ourselves and our enjoyment in our lives. So, not anymore. I'm going to teach you today how to decode and address the mental aspect and the emotions behind your cravings and any stress eating. This is different than the biochemical and the physiological reasons for cravings. So, there are many cravings that are physical, they're biochemical. We have an insufficiency of a certain vitamin or nutrient. Maybe we're not getting enough protein, we're not getting enough rest, we're not getting enough hydration. These are more physical, physiological, biochemical reasons for cravings. But today is really all about the emotions. So listen with an open mind, with an open heart, and with so much love and self compassion. Get excited for what you're about to discover about yourself. Here we go. Some cravings or eating behaviors are triggered by unprocessed emotions, causing us to use food as a coping mechanism. So, eating when you're not actually hungry may be a negative coping strategy. It can be triggered by fear, boredom, negative self talk, and this habit can feel really hard to break. But you can make a different choice than to act on these cravings. And it all starts with taking a pause. So often we are just rushing from thing to thing, activity to activity. We're literally physically rushing around our lives and we're mentally very frenetic, chaotic. I call it having lots of open tabs in our mind. It's like being in front of your computer and you have 10 different open tabs and you're just going back and forth constantly. It's very stressful and it can really trigger some negative, worry, stressful emotions. And often, if we're not really self aware and acknowledging what's going on, we'll have a reflexive or knee jerk reaction to calm that stress by grabbing some munchy, crunchy, sweet, salty food. So, first, the very first step is that we want to take a pause. And there's a wonderful neurologist, psychologist, and Holocaust survivor, Dr. Viktor Frankl, who says that between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. This quote is so good to just sit with for a moment and really think about how often we're doing things from a very reactive place. This is what meditation is all about, is helping us find space, observe ourselves so that we can respond to a situation instead of have that knee-jerk reaction. Because usually those knee-jerk reactions are not coming from our highest self, right? Those knee-jerk reactions are coming from fear, worry, stress, this insufficiency, this sympathetic nervous system where we're not making our best decisions. So it first starts by taking a pause. And we're going to talk more about the 4-step process, what you can do when a craving arises. But first, I want to talk more about Ayurveda and how the mind and body are connected, and that you may physically crave a taste that's representing something that's missing in your life. In Ayurveda, different cravings, sweet, salty, crunchy, creamy, they're all associated with different emotions, actually. So if you crave things that are salty, you just love that salty, super flavorful food. Sometimes it might be things like corn chips or Doritos or salty Chinese food, salty Mexican food, just crunchy, carby foods that are salty. What the salty craving means is that you need to get your juices flowing. So, what salt does in our body and in our digestive system is when we put salt on our tongue, it makes us salivate. It really activates those salivary glands. And this is symbolic, metaphoric, representative of our juices flowing. So, that salty craving means you need more creativity some interesting things in your life. Maybe you've been stressed and overworking and not taking any time to do creative projects or get into your body. I'm thinking about like belly dancing or hula dancing, how that pelvic movement gets the body flowing, gets the energies in the body flowing. So if you're craving salty, think about what's missing. What creative pursuit? Is it art? Is it music? Is it creating something beautiful in your home or yard? How can you get your juices flowing? How can you get your creativity on board? What is it that you like to do? So that's salty. Next is sweet or creamy. These both have the same core underlying need, and that need is some love. So maybe you need some self care. Maybe you've been going so hard, overworking, and not listening to your body and your mind's cues that you need a hug. You might need a warm hug from a friend or loved one, or even to hug yourself, or the warm, snuggly blanket, a comfy couch, a compassionate listening ear. So it could be love from someone else or love from yourself, or anything that makes you feel loving. Reading a beautiful book of love poetry, your coziest, fuzziest blanket, taking a nap, those loving, cuddly, comforting things. That is what those sweet or creamy cravings are about. And when you think about it, the first thing a baby craves or needs to survive is its mama's breast milk or formula. And that is the epitome, that's the original creamy, sweet thing. And it's also the original love and connection. So sweet and creamy, that love, that comfort, that connection. Think about how you could incorporate more of that into your lives. Next up, crunchy. If you are craving crunchy and munchy, I'm thinking, for some reason, this processed snack bugles came to my mind. Those have a very quintessential, unique crunch. But crackers, chips, crunchy breakfast cereal, bugles, anything crunchy and munchy. This means you need action. So try some things that bring you more mental or physical stimulation. When I think about clients who have lots of crunchy cravings, these cravings tend to happen later at night when they're watching Netflix. And when you're stuck on the couch watching Netflix, you are so physically sedentary, or maybe even myself, being at the computer, doing lots of emails. My body is so sedentary and static. And so my mouth might crave some action to balance out the sedentary, static nature of my body. Or that client who's binge watching Netflix might be craving some chips, some cereal, some crackers, just to have some stimulation while they're being so sedentary. It's your mind and body's natural way to balance out what you're doing. So cravings are here really to help us balance, but often we do it in the least healthy way by choosing those chips or sweets. So if you're craving that crunchy, think of something that could bring you some mental or physical stimulation. Sometimes when I need physical stimulation, again, like at my office chair doing emails all day long, I might crave that food, but what I actually want is to get up and run around the block. That's what my body really wants. So think about that with yourself. Next craving, alcohol. This means you need to relax and slow down. So often, clients will crave alcohol when they are really driven. They're really driven people. They get a lot done. They're really excelling in their career. They're keeping it all together at home. In Ayurveda, these people are usually very pitta. This is the fire and water element. And pittas are the list makers, the achievers. They can sometimes be competitive with others or even just with themselves. But sometimes when we're like this, we're having a real problem relaxing, shutting it off, and slowing down. So they almost need the alcohol to force themselves to shut it down. And this is one that I contend with. Sometimes I really crave a cocktail when my mind is just going, going, going. I feel like I've been problem solving, working, multitasking all day, and it's hard to turn it off. And that's when I might crave a vodka and spindrift. That's what I like to have. Even those of us who've been on the holistic path for a while, I still practice this self awareness, this decoding my own cravings. And sometimes I will have the cocktail, and sometimes I'll just notice, wow, I am really craving that. And it's because I'm having a hard time relaxing. So, what else can I do to relax? This brings us to our 4-step process. Next time a powerful urge to munch, crunch, have a sweet, have a cocktail, next time that arises, take a moment and ask yourself, what is it that I truly want right now? If you're in a place where you can close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, when you're feeling those cravings, what is it that I truly want? So, some options might be I want love. I want comfort. I want a nap. I want some movement or physical stimulation. I want to actually just take a deep breath, or I want a hug from someone. Ask yourself this question. Give yourself a moment, give your mind and your heart a moment to explore this and answer that question. Because if we satisfy these deeper cravings, sugar, processed, junky foods, stress eating, they'll never again have that same power. But we must slow down and ask the question. So, in a journal, these are the four steps. In a journal, you can write down your insights around this or just answer these and think about this right now if you don't have a journal or if you're driving. So, what might I truly be craving? This is the first question. Step 2, what are you currently experiencing in your body? Is it anxiety, fear, worry, self-judgment? You can write about it, get it out, or even just talk about it to yourself or a friend. And then number 3, ask yourself, what thoughts might be keeping me stuck? What are some current thoughts that you're having that are bringing you back to that emotion? Some things that spur on clients' anxiety, for instance, are thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. I've always been chubby, or I've always been a stress eater. So take a moment and acknowledge what is going on in our minds. And then we can ask ourselves, how could you satisfy this craving without food? So, some of the examples from before: call a friend, breathe in some lavender essential oil, take a walk, do some of what I call floor yoga. This is where you just roll out your yoga mat and do what feels good. You're not watching a video, you're not trying to burn calories or do a certain asana protocol. You're just moving your body in a way that feels good. I call this getting out of your mind and into your body. You could do a guided meditation or give yourself a little neck massage or lay down for a few minutes. So many things that we can do to satisfy these deeper cravings of love, comfort, connection, movement, creativity. So many ways we can satisfy those cravings without always using food. I hope that this 4-step process has been really helpful for you today. I hope that you're able to come away with an increased sense of self-awareness and an increased sense of empowerment, that you don't have to be ruled by these cravings. You don't have to stress eat every day. You can feel better in your body. You can connect with yourself. You can use these cravings to get in touch with the emotion underneath them and address that deeper need. That's what our cravings are trying to signal us to do. But so often we just skip to that knee-jerk reflexive reaction of munching, crunching, sugar, and sweets, but not anymore. As always, thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, you can feel your best naturally. Just try one new thing a week that you learn here and watch your body and life transform. And if you're ready to take this to the next level, learn your dosha, get your personalized holistic plan, and live beautifully balanced, you've got to come see me at sarahteeple.com. That's SARAHTEEPLE.com. There you can learn about how to work with me one-on-one or book a free holistic chat and just tell me what you're working on. I love to hear from you and help you live your best life. So until next time, be well. Oh, and if you love this conversation, please rate and review our podcast. That really helps more people find natural healthcare options. Thanks again, and see you soon.